I understand that in this country, it's a trade-off. Just like we go to our job, it's a trade-off for time for money. But the amount of time that you're trading for the value that you're getting, which is the money in return, is not enough to provide you a quality life. The American dream as we know it is dead. Everything we were told, go to school, get this career. Once you get the career, buy a house. You get married, you have kids. Maybe you have a little bit more money left over. Take a trip every now and then. Actually feel fulfilled and happy. Well, I feel lied to. I feel like the millennials were the guinea pig generation. I feel that millennials were on the cusp of a new reality emerging. And I felt that technology ushered in a new reality. And I felt that technology and social media was outpacing humanity. Whereas the things we were told by previous generations, previous teachers, counselors, grandparents, may have worked in their day and age. When it was coming time for us to come into our own, and we had that enthusiasm to grab life by the horns, to make a difference, make a change, start a family, that advice that we were given was outdated, and it no longer suffice in this new world. I feel like I was lied to. When I left high school, I came to college. I was not equipped with the information. I was relying on counselors and mentors and older family members to give me a guide on how I can not be squashed by my reality. Wasn't really educated on economics or picking the best career choice that would be able to sustain myself financially so I can make all these other things possible and be an adult and be productive in this world. I went to college, got in all this debt. And I knew immediately upon my senior year of college, the doom and gloom that was waiting for me once I got out of this campus. But I understood, perhaps you have a different experience. Perhaps you were looking forward to life after college. But I felt like college for me was the safe space and everything was waiting for me after I graduated. So during college, I'm trying to do all these different things to help change that, to course correct that reality that was waiting for me, because I had an idea. After college and what I was going to be paid, it was not going to be enough. It was not going to be enough to sustain me. And I felt like what they had promised me in previous generations was not going to be enough. The younger end of the millennials, you understood when social media hit post 2011 and into Instagram era, into the height of the Twitter era, and really the height of social media lights and personalities making an absurd amount of money for what we deem is up our alley. We were like, oh, I'd rather do that. That seems like something that is more cut out for me. I know my way around social media. I think that is the path for me. They're able to do all these different things without the confinements of a 9-to-5 job or having to do all this different schooling, less debt. Let's go that way. So I feel like that became the most desired career path for a lot of people, a possible alternative. And that came with its own struggles and own hustle and bustle culture that we were inheriting. And I was very scared about that. I was very nervous about that. And I understood that I tied my self-worth in my ability to start a family and date and court heavily reliant on my income. Since I had directly tied in my income and my achievements directly to my personal worth, I had a hard time grasping how you could be applying for jobs and the job description could be asking you for 5 to 10 years experience. I was in college the whole time. I don't have any experience to meet this threshold. So I don't feel like any of us were adequately prepared for this. It was a fight to get my degree. It was a fight to find a job. I think many of us went through bouts of unemployment and dealing with such a cutthroat and ruthless job market where a lot of applicants were posting availabilities and that they were hiring and were having ghost positions. We were coming to an insane housing crisis. So the dream of having a house is damn near unreachable. I'm falling in deeper into the money trap and falling deeper and deeper behind and further away from the American dream. A lot of these things could have been avoided with stronger mentorship. And also there's a factor that I have to take my own accountability for not picking the right major, for not making certain decisions that could have made it easier to combat these certain challenges. But we're also in an era where I feel like this country hasn't done a great enough job of preparing its workers and its people to be able to survive on a livable income. A lot of workers cannot afford the rent on their own. They cannot afford to take that vacation. They can't afford to go back to school and work on these different skills. And a lot of us are staying at home later than we wanted to, which is hurting the pride and the ego, because we want our own independence, but we can't afford our independence. I want a lot of things and they're very expensive and they come with a lot of conditions, but I feel like it's nothing of luxury. It's just a basic need and necessity. Just my own place and a job that pays a decent wage and benefits. Why is it so hard to secure benefits in this country? Why are things so hard? Even with the effort and the focus to move up, it feels like I have this weighted vest on me. This weighted vest that is preventing me from reaching what I need to reach. And the solution to that, it's not just a one-size solution. It's very layered, very complex. But the more we know about money and the value of it and how to escape debt, the better off we will be. There's nothing we can do with the systems, and there's nothing we can do about what happened in the past. The present is very indicative of how the future is gonna look like for us. Living in the past probably is not gonna help you, and living too far in the future is neglecting the steps we need to be taking, actionable and measurable steps that we need to be taking to make sure that our future is a brighter reality despite how dark it is. And there's a lot of uncertainties in our country, and it's election year, so there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of natural disasters happening. There's a lot of people displaced. There's a lot of people homeless, and job opportunities are very hard to come by. Good quality jobs that are going to pay us enough. So I empathize with everybody, and I understand that it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of strength and a lot of resilience to get past this. But nonetheless, I feel like the guidance that we needed to make sure that what we had in mind for our goals and our dreams were sufficiently supported. And I've never felt sufficiently supported. I always felt like I was too late. I always felt like a late bloomer. And I always felt that people that were able to create and carve out the lives that they wanted, that I somehow found myself on the outside looking in. Once they got in, they shut the door or they covered their tracks. It was never like, let me pull you up. I've only been exposed to a crabs in a barrel mentality. I should have did a better job at extending my hand, providing my services, and providing value. I understand that in this country, it's a trade-off. Just like we go to our job, it's a trade-off for time for money. But the amount of time that you're trading for the value that you're getting, which is the money in return, is not enough to provide you a quality life. So we have to do something about it. Despite a failing system, despite a failing education and job market, despite all the pitfalls and the people that have less access to resources and they're in a certain income threshold where opportunities come far in between. In this country, they're trying to get rid of diversity hires and inclusion for all. They're very real challenges. It's unfortunate that we have to figure out a way to get past this, but I think that's the importance of community. This country is so individualistic that it's completely cannibalizing us. And I think the most important solution is we need each other. We need to build community. It is shifting to a community-based solution because everyone is too overwhelmed. Everyone is too overworked and underpaid, and we're all tired. We're all exhausted. And it was a lie in itself that we could do it all on our own. It should have been taught very early on that you need somebody. I don't think there's anything else we can do but utilize each other, utilize our brothers and sisters. We have more in common than we don't. We are more alike than we are different. And I think we should play to our strengths more and less of our weaknesses and our fears. Everybody else is playing to our fears and trying really hard to divide us. And at this point, we need to combat that with love and grow closer to each other.